So it was Salah-less, Sobo-less, Van Dijk-less, but still, Arsenal did they know that these guys were not in the game?
I think to give credit to Arsenal, they did play better than they did in the league.
I mean, Dennis has said that it's always about the result.
It is always about the results, and results have not been good for Arsenal, and it must drive Mikel Arteta crazy because they were picking up pace, and it seemed like the path was there for them to tighten their stranglehold at the top of the league. They were top at Christmas, but they haven't won a game since, and this is a big issue because he attempted to shift his side from a more fluid, attacking side to a team that's more solid, a team that can play more predictable games. I mean, you can say even a team more City-like in the sense that there's not that much variance. You play games knowing that Arsenal is probably going to win this by 2 or 3 goals. And he started from the back, brought in Declan Rice to shore up the midfield. But then that has seemed to stunt the attack. Not necessarily the introduction of Rice itself, but then the shifting of the system. We had Kai Havertz come in as well.
Absolutely.
He's not been as sharp as he expected. And I'm sure we can have an hour-long conversation about whether Kai Havertz, or maybe it won't even be an hour, maybe it will be a very short conversation. Absolutely. Is Kai Havertz good enough? But then there's that aspect of it as well. But Arsenal are just not as fluid up front as they used to be.
So you feel they've been brutally exposed?
I mean, exposed is a tough word because you always have to evolve. Like, teams are not sitting back on their haunches. Arsenal were very good last year. Everyone was watching tape. Everyone was trying to figure out how to beat this team. And I think they just haven't evolved enough to be able to, counter that. Saka and Martinelli especially have been
untouchable.
I mean, he's still playing really well, but then the levels that he expects him to reach for the focal points of a title-winning team, they haven't reached those levels this year. And then I'm expecting that it's either new players or it's another shift in the system to bring out the edge in them. Because apart from those 2 players and Odegaard as well, if the spark doesn't come from there, I feel like Arsenal are in trouble going forward this season.
Talk about getting into trouble going forward this season. Do you think they lack the killer instinct, Arsenal?
Listen, Arsenal is not a serious club. They're not serious.
Arsenal are not a serious club?
No, they're not serious. You see, you can't be running out of steam in January. It doesn't add up. You see, for a team that really wants to win the league title and play very well and probably win it, you don't. Listen, how did they lose this game? I watched this game from the entire 90 minutes.
Yeah.
There was no
way. Look at the XG.
There's no way Arsenal. There's no way Arsenal should have.
5-7
There's no way Arsenal should have lost this game. I watched them. Is it that they were wasting chances, or they were being too intricate, or they were giving the balls away? I'm like, listen. The first 30 minutes, Liverpool was nowhere. They were just lost in the game. And I'm surprised. I'm sure that when Jurgen Klopp got into the half, I was like, I'm sure he was a bit like, wow, how did this happen? Because it gave him a new lease of life. Because they were lost in the first half, and Arsenal was very dominant. And you see, I asked myself, on several occasions when we've seen Havertz being the top man up front, he's never performed. I think he's done better in the midfield areas where they play the 4-3-3 when he plays deeper, and then he comes out there. So I didn't understand why he played Havertz up front. He was awful. He was very poor to me. Because
you can say that about a number of
and you see, and the thing is that front three, surprisingly, they seem to have lost form at the same time. Saka is not playing well. Martinelli is not playing well. Havertz is out of sorts. Even Nketiah, who normally comes and no matter when he comes into the game and scores, he's not finding his goal-scoring boots. And it's at the wrong time because they seem to have lost form when they really need to have show their mettle. Because in January, come on, this is the business end. You can't till now to May, you're supposed to show your mettle. And unfortunately, Arsenal seems to be running out of steam. And it's the sooner they try this, they're able to get those players to get to score goals again, and they're going to be in trouble. Because I've always maintained that if they're not really able to find a goal scorer in January, there's no way Arsenal will win this league title. It's impossible. Because they're not scoring goals, and they need somebody who will be finishing up front. They don't seem to have it. So if they're able, until they fix that in January, I don't see how they can compete for this title. The fans can say a lot of things.
This is January.
This is January, and of course you're in a transfer window, right?
Absolutely.
So they need to find a solution there.
Who's coming?
They need to score
Ivan
goals because
Tony is one guy who
I've heard Tony. But you see, the thing is about Tony is that yes, he could come help because he's a natural goal scorer. But the question is, what kind of form is he in?
Yeah,
because he's been pretty dormant for a number of months.
Yeah, especially when the betting issue.
Exactly. So it's about who is coming in and going to get the ground running. And so they fix that issue up front. They're going to struggle in the coming months because the earlier they sort out their goal scoring issues, the better for them. Because at this moment, City looks really equipped. Liverpool are scoring goals because today what happened was that in the second half, what happened was Jota coming into the game and changing it because Liverpool themselves were struggling up front, and then Jota came in, I think, about 20 minutes to time and changed their front line, and then they became dominant. So Arsenal got tired at the end because they had been playing so well, and then they got tired at the back line, and Liverpool just capitalized on it, and Jota was pulling the strings, and they scored 2 goals, and Arsenal is out. And it's very disappointing because you can't play like this, be dominant in the first half, and not score any goal and crash out this way. This is not a serious club. Serious clubs don't do this.
Look at how he wants to end it. How he ended it.
Arsenal is not a serious club.
If you don't mind, I want to shine the spotlight a little bit on Trent Alexander-Arnold because he's been playing at a level that we probably haven't seen from a right back in years.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have to pose this question: like, where do we put him? Top 10, top 5, not just defenders, but I'm talking about players in the Premier League because he changed this game for Liverpool. Absolutely. He hits the bar in the first half.
That's it.
But then even apart from that, in those moments where they needed goals, it was the quality that he delivered. And he delivers quality not just from set pieces, but from open play. And he's definitely someone to watch with Salah out.